Who's ready for a little Dragonstorm Advanced Class? So you healed, or you are healing. You've done the inner work, you've done the introspection, you've done what you had to do, and now you're ready to date again. Or you simply just want some human connection, some romantic connection with someone else, which can be very difficult after prolonged abuse, harassment, smear campaigns, attacks on your character from narcissistic personalities. First off, understand this, and I reiterate this constantly. You have gone through spiritual warfare. People with NPD or highly toxic personalities, personality disorders that involve narcissism, these are evil people. They have accepted being liars, living in delusion, forcing that delusion on other people, coming after you with harassment, like all the hoovering, the stalking, the attacking of your character. Everything that they do involves negative karma. So you have literally survived war by darkness. A darkness that came after you, evil, Luciferian, however you want to put it. You survived that, and that's one thing that the demon spirit cannot stand. Anyone who involves themselves with the demon spirit thinks that truth are lies and lies are truth, thinks that they are the good ones when they're actually evil, and they think evil, they think good is evil, evil is good. Like, it's opposite day with these people. They're nuts. They have personality disorders. They're highly toxic and narcissistic. They are not good. They are evil. They are possessed by the demon spirit. And also understand that anybody that co-signs their narrative, anybody that reinforces that narrative, anyone who pushes false narratives against you are also evil. So you've learned how to push those types of people out of your life. You don't give them any power. You don't give them any credibility. You don't recognize them. You say, no, I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with your crap, and I don't want you involved in my life. So you step out into the dating world again. You step out because you want that human connection. You want to be around somebody. You have healed enough that you understand yourself. You have emotional control, balance. You can recognize red flags. But still, you find that person, you put your heart out, and that person, like the narcissist or other toxic people before you, have certain damages that you recognize because you've been through them, you survived and thrived through them. But whereas before you were a people pleaser, you had abandonment issues, or you had weak boundaries, or you overlooked red flags, you don't do that anymore. You look at things with discernment because of the knowledge that you have about yourself. This is my recommendation to you. Date. Believe in someone else. Give them passes. When someone acts out in ways of toxicity that you recognize, sometimes you should understand that sometimes damaged people act in damaged ways. But there is a difference between someone who is struggling with healing their damage and a person who is full on toxic, is narcissistic, or a narcissist themselves. My recommendation is this. You give it the 45 day mark. People who have NPD, people who have narcissistic personality disorder or are highly narcissistic can only hide it for so long. They can only hide it for so long. So you've got to give it that 40 to 45 day mark, that month and a half mark, that love bomb phase. You have to protect yourself, not divulge too much about yourself while being open and understanding and compassionate and loving. This is a chance. You're absolutely taking a chance. Understand, the world isn't built on sunshine and rainbows. All right? There are people out there who are deceptive, who are liars. So give yourself that 45 days, 45 to 50 days, 40 to 50, for that person to really show who they are. See, people who live in cycles of toxicity can't hide it for too long. Eventually, that false face is going to fall down. Eventually, they're going to need that negative fuel, and they're going to come at you, and they're going to try and aggravate you. A person who is damaged and just trying to work through their damage, you can tell the difference. They will apologize. They will take accountability. And it's hard to discern those things, especially when you're dealing with people who are highly narcissistic or narcissists themselves, because they live in deception. They're probing you for your weaknesses. They're probing you to find triggers and traumas so that they can use that against you later and create a trauma bond. So this is the key to it. If you are dating again and you are with somebody who is troubled, who you think is overcoming traumas or damage, you give them that 45 days. You give them those 50 days. You take that chance because you never know. Sometimes pressure creates a diamond. Sometimes somebody just needs someone there to be good to them, to give them opportunities to excel, to give them opportunities to heal and be better for themselves. Sometimes it takes that in order for a person to heal. Those of us who have been through narcissistic abuse, you understand it was those few friends, that small group of people that stuck with you through everything that you needed as a support system in order for you to hit that next level, to survive and thrive, crawl out of hell. If that other person makes you angry with intention, if they build you up throughout a day, if they're trying to hit your triggers, being crazy, trying to manipulate you or gaslight you, or trying to do anything to aggravate you to the point to where you blow up, and you do, because Sometimes we lose our tempers. Take stock in that. As quickly as you can, ground yourself. Understand that person just tried to make you upset, and this is when you seriously pay attention. Because if that person just had simple damages, if they're just trying to heal through something, or they're used to cycles of toxicity or abusive relationships, or they've gotten through one, or they're trying to heal themselves, that person will absolutely come back to you and apologize. And that apology will be sincere, and you already know the difference between a sincere apology and one that's full of crap because you've dealt with a narcissist or a highly toxic person. If they apologize, then that might just be it. That they may have just lost their shit for a minute. They may have just lost their cookies, and they actually do care. You give them that next chance. But if they don't take any accountability, or if they just say, okay, I see where you're coming from, and then within the next few days they begin to play more games, they begin to try and hit your triggers, that person is a narcissist. That person is narcissistic at best. At which point, understand you took a chance. And if their face falls off and that person ends up being a narcissist, then understand what's going to come next. What's going to come next is that person's going to gather up every enemy, any like attracts like. They're going to gather up any type of other toxic person that is willing to commit to a smear campaign, to take facts or a little bit of evidence and frame it in such a way as though you're the bad guy. They're going to come at you with tons of fake numbers. They're going to try and email you. They're going to try and create sock puppet accounts in order to make you feel isolated, make you feel harassed, as though their smear campaigns are working. If you're going through like a public social media smear campaign from a group of narcissists. Now, as we know, this is all meant to make you feel down. This is all meant to make you feel bad. This is meant to shame you, the victim, to victim shame, to victim blame, because you said no. You went no contact. You're not dealing with this person. You are not going to put up with their lies. You see them for who they are, and that's the one thing the demon spirit hates. And this is why I say you've got to recognize this as spiritual warfare. Like attracts like. That demon spirit is connected to all narcissistic, all toxic people, all narcissists. And so when they see one of their own committing to a campaign against someone who is loving, compassionate, authentic, someone who is caring, then they're all going to come down on it. They're all going to join in. It's all going to be a bunch of it's a bunch of demon clowns in the burning circus of narcissism. You are meant You are meant to give up. They want you to give up. They want you to stop shining. They want you to feel like you're being painted in a wrong light. But understand this. Anybody who agrees with a smear campaign is weak-minded or feeble-minded, or they are narcissists themselves. And now some people do get fooled. We got fooled, right, at one point from a narcissist. We got fooled into believing the lies that they were feeding us, and we accepted those lies. Sometimes we even regurgitated them in order to try and save the completely soulless, demonic person, the relationship with that person that we were with. So people can fall for lies. But understand this. Truth always comes to light, right? And you let people like that box themselves in. Let them continue to lie, continue to be manic, continue to try and spread fear and pain, continue to attack you. Let them expose themselves. You know it. You've been through this before, but the difference is that you are a healed survivor and thriver from narcissistic abuse or a heavily toxic relationship with a highly narcissistic person. You understand the game. You know what's coming at you. So endure it. It doesn't matter. Liars are liars. Let your narcissist is your trash collector. The trash collects itself. Do not take this in a negative light, because you know what you learned through this entire situation. You learned a lot of positive things about yourself. One, you learned that you could love again. That you learned that you could put your heart out again. You learned that you did not lose your empathy. You did not lose your compassion. You have the ability to love someone, open your heart to someone, to have sex again, to feel that personal connection again, even if it was with a fake-ass person. Got to accept in these games, especially after you've conquered the demon spirit, especially after you fought back and you continue to thrive, that the devil hates you now. He absolutely hates you, and that demon's going to come after you. And not only did you learn that you are such a person of light that the demon spirit has to keep sending attacks your way, but you also learned that when that first love bomb phase ended, you had the discernment to recognize that person was going into a devaluation stage. You did not get caught up in it, and you understood yourself. You understood the situation. You went no contact, and you're not dealing with it again. Those are wins, brothers and sisters. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on love. The reason these demons come after you is because they hate themselves, because they are of darkness. Just remember that, guys. My love to you. Seriously, my love to you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other, and never again suffer these fools.